So here the question is right here. How do you deal with? How do you respond to your wife or your woman or your girlfriend or significant other when she has a concern that she's presenting to you that you consider to be small shit? Like, how do you like address that?
Yeah, I wonder if I ask her, is this a real concern that you really asking about, or is this something that you just trying to get a response or a reaction out of me? Now, if it's a real concern, then we can talk about it. But if you're just looking for a reaction to see what I'm gonna say, then let's not get to no argument about something that's not even important. Now, if it's important to you, let's go on and talk about it.
Right.
If it's not a real, valid, important concern, then let's not waste our time.
I feel it.
Yeah.
So, how do you deal with, when your wife brings you a question or a concern that you consider to be some small shit? Like, why you always tripping on the small shit? How do you deal with those kind of concerns?
A lot of times I just be like, you know what, baby, you right.
And does she accept that?
Yeah, not all the time.
Okay. Because in my thinking, I just want to kind of like add this to it just so I can get a more elaborative answer, right?
Okay,
So what I'm answering is that, so when you answer like that and you say she don't accept it all the time, do that issue come back up sometime later down the line?
Yeah, a lot of time, I ain't say a lot of time. It does come back up. And the reason it comes back up because a lot of times they may feel like, man, it was brushed under the rug the first time.
Right.
You really didn't get clarity. And that's when you sit down and you make sure, hey man, let me pay attention to what you got going on so we can get some clarity and be done with it.
Right.
That's what it boils down to, communication.
Right. I feel that. So, Mr. Blue.
What's the word?
So, the question is, what I've been asking all of the husbands and the boyfriends and the mans, how do you deal with concerns from your wife that you consider to be small shit? You know how you say, like, man, why you always be tripping on small shit? Why you always, how do you even have thoughts like that about her concerns? And if you do, because I can't just say you do, but if you do, how do you deal with it?
Like the smallest things that she...
Yeah, the things that you consider to be small shit, like shit that you feel like, why are you even tripping with me about
I
that?
listen. I used to just say that. Why you tripping? But I listen now because that starts argument. Because with women, you gotta understand. They just need somebody to listen to. You know what I'm saying? They're, once they vent out, and then you place everything in perspective, what they just vented, they'll come to understand like that shit's nothing. That shit's small in the motherfucker.
So I mean, like, how, like, kind of like help me see what, like, how do you deal with it? Like, do you like give me kind of like some kind of example? Like, you don't got to get like specific. Like, she bam, she has a small shit that you feel like it's small shit, right? It's a concern she got that you feel it's small shit. Like, what is typically your response would be like?
Let me think. Right? Okay, say if I'm like zoned out or something, you know what I'm saying? And she asks me a question, and I don't hear it right then and there. I'm like, what you say? She trip on that. And that's small to me. And all you gotta do is repeat it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mind was somewhere else.
I feel
Telling
you.
my mind was somewhere else.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is repeat it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All I had to do was just sit back and understand where she was coming from with it.
I feel you.
Because when that get done to me, I feel some type of way. You know
Oh, so you trip on the same thing sometimes?
I don't trip on it, but I notice it.
Oh, okay.
It's two different
It catch your
things.
attention.
And
You just don't say nothing.
And that's one thing women need to understand. Some things don't need to be said.
Just think on it sometimes.
Right there.
Just give it some thought sometimes. Because it might not be nothing, huh?
It don't need to be said.
It might not even be
Oh
nothing.
man, it don't need to be said.
Appreciate that, man. Bam. So, Mr. Quan. Young thing. You know what I'm talking about? So, I want to ask you now, sir. You've been married a good while, from my understanding. We ain't got to get to specifics to numbers, but I know you've been married a while. So, with that being said, I'd like to know how you deal with concerns that sometimes, you know how we can be, how men can be, concerns that you consider to be some small shit. Like, why you bother me with that? Why you like, come on, man, you tripping? Like, how you deal with that now?
Well, I think you take assessment. You tell her, say, hey, let's sit back and take an assessment. Is this really this serious to be tripping off of this little thing? And also remind her that it's not. I tell you, if you're right, I tell you you're right, and I apologize. But it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's what's right and what's wrong. You tell her that. And also, when you pass it, you say, look, we talked about it. I'm not gonna mention it to you. I don't expect you to mention what you talk about with me and your concern. Once it's squash, you say it's squash. Don't bring it up tomorrow. Don't bring it up next month. If you say it's squash, then it's squash. what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. Cause I noticed you were saying like, then you tell her. But so you saying that's how you handle it, right?
Well,
I'm saying that's how you handled it.
I mean, yeah, you know.
No, I'm saying that's how you handled it.
That's how I handle it.
Okay. So now, my other question is here. Is when it's dealt with like that, if it was a desire to come back up, or if it did come back up, could you say that the problem was really never resolved? It was kind of like talked about, and it was just like, okay, bam, I'm tired of talking about it, leave it alone, and I don't, and so, but it never really was resolved. Considering that it was brought back up, could you say that?
Yeah, I could say that, and I think even us as men, we might have a problem. And if we talk about it, we say, you know what? We talked about it, we squashed it, whatever it may be, right? Generalize it.
Right.
We might think about it like, damn, man, she did this, but I'm not gonna bring that shit up because it's small shit. When they think about it, they gonna subtly do it, right? They're gonna do it in a subtle manner. So, I mean, my thing is, I have all my ducks in a row, meaning I'm not gonna do certain things or bring certain shit up because I don't want you to do that. So I can always say, hey, look, when we talk about this, I never brought that back up. Right? So when I said that, hey, I wasn't gonna bring it back up again, that day it was buried.
Right.
Like, and I expect you to do this. I mean, say how you feel. I'm not saying don't say how you feel, but if we say it's washed, it's washed. But if you say, you know what, I'm not over it, then tell me that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Right, but don't say it's squash and bring it back up.
Don't say it's washed and bring it back up.
Right.
Say, you know what, I'm not over it, and we can talk about it a couple more times. I'm with you.
Right, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? But if you say it's washed, then
it's squash.
I think it's washed.
Yeah, I feel that. So, how do I deal with what I might consider to be small, whether it be from a significant other or a friend, right? I myself, especially from a significant other, that's the context that we're talking about. I don't grade things no more as small shit or not, you know what I'm saying? I used to when I was younger, and when I did, it was small shit to me. I didn't want to discuss it. But today, I don't grade it, and I've consciously forced myself not to grade people's concerns because I don't want my concerns graded. You know what I'm saying? Because my concerns are the result of my life experience, things that I can say either have healed, things that I've gotten over, and things I may haven't gotten totally over, that I'm working on, you know what I'm saying? So whatever concern I have, it's about my peace of mind. And I'm so serious and grateful about my peace of mind that I'm considerate though enough to where I truly value my significant other's peace of mind. And so a lot of times for myself, I go far and beyond to make sure my significant other have a peace of mind because that's what I really would want in return. So I always try to plant that seed. You feel what I'm saying? So for that reason, whenever my significant other would bring some kind of issue, I mean, we're going to definitely talk about it. And I'm going to have a lot of questions because that's the only way I can truly understand it. But a lot of the time what I found, though, is that whoever the female may be at that time in my life, she don't like all those questions. She just want to talk. And in her mind, she just want to be understood. She thinks that she's being clear. But what she's not realizing is that you can be perceived differently from 5 different people. If you're talking to 5 different people, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand you correctly, and so that I can either address it or make the proper changes or whatever I need to do, or whatever we need to do. I need to make sure I understand her correctly. So that's how I pretty much deal with it. I definitely somehow when everybody said let's talk about it, that's what I want to talk about it. And I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. I'm gonna listen, and then I'm gonna explain, make sure I'm on the same accord, and I'm gonna give my perspective about it. And hopefully my perspective, or in addition to that, is that I don't believe in brushing things under the rug because I truly believe that whatever we brush under the rug is definitely going to deal with it sometime in the future. So I remember I was talking to my uncle before. He married the same woman twice. You know what I'm saying? And then I asked him, I asked him this question. I say, did the thing that y'all got divorced about, was it an issue that existed in the very beginning of the relationship? And he told me yes. And so I asked him that question, but from a number of different other people who got divorced. And 9 times out of 10, that was the issue, that it was an issue in the beginning that they try to overlook or not worry about or disregard or whatever it can be. That end up being something that they really found out you couldn't deal with, you couldn't accept. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean I believe strongly in always addressing matters, and if a person can't respect your concern and deal with it, shit, we need to make another decision now.
Real talk. Real.